your girl got transmigrated into a palace maid in the laundry department. One day, your girl just couldn't hold it in anymore and started complaining out loud. This damn job? Not another single day, I swear to the heavens. From beyond the wall, a voice replied, worker by day, worker by soul. A worker's true form is a worker on a worker. Wait, isn't that a famous internet quote? Palace Bing Ding Jade Liquid Elixir 188 a cup. Your girl literally slapped her thigh and shot up like a rocket. Fellow transmigrator, you came here too? This is so emotional. After 2 years of being transmigrated as a palace maid in the laundry department, your girl finally found a fellow countryman. And what's even more touching is this fellow transmigrator is the freaking emperor. Talk about a massive golden thigh to cling on to. So, your majesty, how did you even transmigrate here? Our emperor casually sat down on the steps. Don't call me your majesty anymore. Just call me Hao Ji, you hear? In my past life, I worked like a dog, got so stressed I kept having brain rot moments, and then just passed out. When I transmigrated and found myself an emperor, I was ecstatic. But now, every day, I just want to resign. He says that. But your girl could feel the subtle flex coming off him. Transmigrating into an emperor? That's even better than winning the lottery, bro. Your girl looked at him with puppy dog eyes. Hao Jie, you really don't know how good you have it. In this awful feudal society, do you even know how many clothes I have to wash every day? Your girl stretched out her calloused, hard-working hands in front of him. Look at what my hands have become after all this torture. Every night, I dream of owning a washing machine. My only crime was getting too engrossed in hot gossip on the way home, and then, bam, car accident. But your girl clung onto Hao Ji's leg tightly. Or, how about you transfer me somewhere else, Ji? As they say, having connections in high places just makes life easier. Hao Ji paused for a moment. Then, don't worry about this little thing. Your Ji will handle it. Your girl internally cheered. This laundry department? I've been over it since day one. Besides the never-ending laundry pile, workplace toxicity was also in abundance here. And there was this one eunuch in the laundry department, Feng Gao. Every day he'd ogle your girl, and because your girl gave him nothing but a stink eye, he'd make life difficult. But today, your girl was packing up, ready to move out. Feng Gao blocked your girl's path. Where do you think you're going? Your girl raised an eyebrow and announced smugly, I've been transferred to the imperial study. Feng Gao scoffed, the imperial study? With you? Your girl straightened her back.
What?
The emperor himself personally transferred me. Got a problem with that? Feng Gao still wouldn't believe it. I think you're just delusional. I advise you to obediently become my companion maid. That'll get you a better future than sucking up to the emperor. Bam! Hao Gei pushed open the door, his face radiating a majestic calm that spoke volumes. Even your girl was a little stunned, until he gave her a quick wink. Your girl immediately scurried behind Hao Jie. This Feng Gao trash was the reason the original body owner was forced to jump into a lake and commit suicide, which is how your girl even transmigrated here. Right now, your girl was radiating pure villain, who just won energy, feeling smug as heck. Your girl was like a child, tattling to her mom. Your girl pointed at Feng Gao. He always bullies others, and he even tried to make unspoken rules with me. Your Majesty, you absolutely have to punish him. Feng Gao didn't get what unspoken rules meant but bullying others? Oh, he definitely understood that. He immediately trembled, prostrated himself on the ground, his voice shrill and pleading. Your Majesty, this servant knows his wrongs. Your Majesty, please spare my life. Faced with such blatant workplace harassment, Hao Gei took action. Guards, where are they? Drag this insolent servant out and behead him. Your girl was secretly clapping in admiration. Feng Gao forced the original body owner to her death, so this was exactly the ending he deserved. It was night in ancient times, no phones, no TV. Your girl and Hao Jie couldn't sleep. Late nights and barbecue, a match made in heaven. So Hao Jie called up the imperial kitchen chefs and made them grill some food. The two of us, fellow transmigrators, drank wine and chatted the night away. Hao Bro takes a sip, saying it's been ages since he felt this chill. You wouldn't get it, he sighs. This world has no one who understands me. I'm like the last survivor on the moon. I clink my cup with his, cause low-key, it's been ages since I felt this relaxed too. Like, why do other people get transmigrated as some fancy young lady or a whole princess? Meanwhile, I get isekai'd only to become a servant? What's the point? Am I seriously doomed to be a palace maid for life? Just thinking about it, I felt a wave of ultimate despair and self-pity wash over me. So I grabbed Hao Bro's sleeve and dramatically wiped away my tears. The poor junior eunuch, bringing snacks, almost dropped the whole tray seeing that. I asked Hao Bro, did you ever try to find a way back home? The emperor, mouth full of roasted meat, mumbled, did you already try? I scoffed, duh, of course I tried. When I first transmigrated, I literally jumped into a well and tried to hang myself, but neither worked. Hao Bro clinked his glass with mine again, then asked, but why do you want to go back? I told him, girl, it's winter here with no heaters, summer with no AC, and I'm just a laundry maid. Of course I want to go back. Plus, my company literally cannot function without me. I've got 2 huge projects running at the same time, 3 laptops, and some big-shot clients who only trust me. If I don't get back, everything's gonna descend into total chaos. Halbro looked at me, completely unconvinced. So I shot back, oh really? Do you think this whole country could survive without you right now? Halbro slammed the table. Let me tell you, girl, if I took 1 day off, the memorials on my desk would pile up like mountains. I've got a zillion decisions to make every single day. I held up my hands, like same principle, dude. But then I added, except Halbro, you're the emperor. You could just hire people to do stuff. You don't have to do everything yourself. A flicker of helplessness crossed Halbro's eyes. He handed me a skewer of roasted lamb and started telling me his story. Actually, I've been transmigrated here for over a year now, he began, and it's not like I haven't gained anything. Being this emperor is basically like running my own Trichum startup, he explained. I have to worry about literally everything. The only difference is, if a company goes bankrupt, you can just file for it. But if this entire kingdom collapses, I'm literally dead. How can I trust anyone else to run things for me? I had to sigh in agreement. Turns out, from ancient times to now, every single worker has their own unique struggles. So, you haven't thought about getting an assistant, I asked? You're drowning in a million tasks every day. Even CEOs have chief assistants, I said, but he just replied with this helpless voice. I'm used to using Arabic numerals, simplified Chinese characters, and sometimes even English abbreviations. Do you seriously think it's easy to train someone who can understand all that? As he said it, he looked at me, then his eyes widened. Dang it, aren't you a ready-made talent just sitting right here? Your girl is a palace maid from the laundry department, fluent in both ancient and modern languages, I bragged. So the emperor put a small desk in his imperial study, not far from his own, so he could just look up and call me over. Being a professional worker is my calling, so I just took on the role like the boss I am. Honestly, seeing all those familiar texts, I almost shed tears of joy. Finally, no more laundry duty. Someone like me in ancient times, I'm a rare talent.
My boss.
Wait, scratch that. Logically speaking, the benefits the emperor offered me would surely be exploited by any capitalist. Halbro offered me an annual salary of 1,000 taels of silver, which is like 240,000 yuan. Of course, compared to my laundrymaid salary, this was a major glow-up. I get to work 9 to 5, weekends off, a palace dorm for staff, 3 meals a day, and a whole squad of attendants. My job is super simple, just organize those memorials. Since I can't go back home for now, I guess I'll just take it one step at a time. As I walked by, arms full of memorials, I overheard some people gossiping. Hey, you guys hear the latest tea? Apparently, the emperor has his eyes on a laundry maid. No way, for real? Someone from that place could actually get favored? Can she even keep up the act anymore? Bro, His Majesty already sent that person to the imperial study to serve. Your girl was kinda like, wait, are they even talking about me? But then Consort Juan, that green tea bitch, waltzed up and started beefing with me. That's when I knew for sure they were talking about my girl. Consort Juan's squad then came in hot, pushing our queen to her knees. They had that smug, we're better than you look, giving off total workplace bully vibes. Then one of her little cronies piped up. You shameless hussy, do you even deserve to glance at our emperor? Today, you'll kneel right here, and I'll give you 100 slaps to teach you a lesson. Our consort Juan is personally teaching you manners. This is your blessing. Now hurry up and thank her. Honestly, I was just thinking, ancient psychological manipulation, peak performance. They even expect you to thank them for being a servant. The audacity. Your girl, completely unbothered, was like, don't say I didn't warn you, but arrogant consorts like you, in dramas, usually just cannon fodder. Before the words even left her mouth, wham, 2 slaps landed right on her face. No, she didn't. She actually dared to strike our queen. Consort Juan giving full consort Ha vibes with the eye roll, then opened her mouth like, I wonder why our emperor never steps foot in the imperial harem. Oh, is he too busy with court affairs? Or is he perhaps hiding a beauty in a golden house? The words barely left her mouth when, from a distance, a eunuch's booming voice rang out. His Imperial Majesty arrives. How J. our Simp ML arrived pretty fast. Consort Juan, not a total idiot, immediately pulled a face-changing act. She grabbed our girl's hand, placed it on her own chest, then dramatically yeeted herself backward into the lotus pond. Her minions, bless their dramatic hearts, immediately started screaming, Save our consort! Save our consort! For some reason, your girl immediately thought, oh no, this is totally that Empress pushed consort she trope. And from our emperor's POV, it would definitely look like our queen just yeeted her into the lotus pond. Consort Juan, after being dramatically rescued, started crying a storm, acting like she'd just survived a tragedy. Your humble concubine missed His Majesty so much, but was too afraid to disturb His Majesty's important state affairs. I only wanted to speak with her about His Majesty's recent well-being, but she said, your humble concubine is merely a lowly consort. How dare I inquire about our emperor? And then she pushed your humble concubine into the pond. Your Majesty, you must do your humble concubine justice. She laid out her whole case with such conviction, and had a whole squad of minions ready to testify. Your girl was like, okay, time to activate lawyer mode for myself. Your Majesty, please, let your humble servant explain. Our emperor, however, just frowned and said, you don't need to explain anymore. Consort Juan gave our girl a smug, victorious smirk. Then our emperor, in a deep booming voice, gave his command. Empress and Consort Juan in the cold palace. Every single servant present looked absolutely flabbergasted. And just like that, our girl's reputation as a woman who brings disaster went absolutely viral overnight. In a blink, everyone was clamoring to be reassigned to the laundry department, a job nobody wanted just moments ago. Honestly, it was also partly because how Jay, our busy ML, just refused to visit the imperial harem. Your girl insisted to him, babe, they're totally slandering you. No, you still need to go to the imperial harem and clear your name a little. How Gay just sighed, bro, I don't know which ancestor decreed that afternoon is actually 5 a.m., meaning I have to wake up at 3 or 4 a.m. every single day. I'd barely have the energy for anything else. Let alone the harem. Plus, I haven't had a day off all year. Do you even know how many women are waiting there? I've counted. There are 42 of them. Even if I skipped sleep for a month, I couldn't visit them all. Of course, How J, our multitasking ML, was sighing all this while, still approving memorials at lightning speed. So basically, all those strong people don't complain quotes from your boss? Pure psychological manipulation for us working folks. Clearly, the more you complain, the higher your productivity is. How OJ is living proof. After hearing his rant, our girl was actually kind of impressed. This world is either giving chaotic horse energy or straight-up duck-brained vibes. No in between. Did Haugi just not hear our girl? Our queen shook her head like, nothing at all. But seriously, you need to make me an official so I can get this bag legit. Our ML How J stopped writing, staring at her like he just had a devious thought to cut costs. Our girl's spidey sense was tingling, and it wasn't a good vibe. He continued, look, the army's hitting me up, the Ministry of Works is hitting me up, even the harem wants my coins. How G's genius plan? Just fire all of them. Our queen.exe has stopped working. Fire them? How exactly? Our ML squints and goes, just lock them all in the cold palace. Duh! Our girl deadpanned, bro, are you literally a demon? He pondered for a sec, then pouted, you don't think that's a good idea either, huh? He sighed, fine, we kinda need them for court balance for now. Just pretend I didn't say anything, okay? But How Gay's chaos actually sparked an amazing money-making scheme in our queen's brain. The common folk are absolutely obsessed with anything a concubine has ever touched. If we find a few trusted OGs to secretly run this, we could totally monopolize and rake in the big bucks. It's called upcycling royal waste. How Jay heard her genius plan, slapped his thigh, and was like, yes, queen, you do it! Our girl wanted to facepalm so hard. She played coy, oh no, I can't. I don't have the connections, I don't know anything. Ao Gay holds up his hand, I'll give you 5% commission. Deal or no deal, queen. Our girl leans in, whispering, actually, I have been building up some connections, but it's gotta be 8%. Our ML, this stingy puppy, was like, 6% for good luck, that's my final offer. 7%. Anything less, and this girl walks. If you get someone else, they're still gonna want their cut, just saying. But I'm different. I'm a law-abiding citizen, okay? How Gay was like, fine, 7% it is. Luckily for you, I'm just a brick in the wall, useful wherever needed. Thanks to the backdoor VIP access How Jay gave her, our queen was reselling palace luxury goods at insane markups. And of course, our girl's no fool. Mixing in some fakes with the real stuff, that's how you get those real profits, babes. The Empress Dowager's discarded wash basin? That's 100 taels. A comb imperial concubine shoe once breathed near? That's 200 taels. But the true crown jewel? The emperor's used underwear, obviously. She flipped that for a cool 1,000 taels. Must be all that good karma she's racking up, right? The bougie ladies outside the palace were literally calling her a living bodhisattva. One day, this living bodhisattva queen actually ran into a real Taoist. The Taoist was like, halt, young friend. This old Taoist has been wandering the Jinghu for decades, but never seen a face like yours. Our girl's guard immediately shot up. My face? What about it? This Taoist Musho went full cryptic, rambling about how her face clearly showed a short lifespan, so how is she even alive right now? Talk about a talent. Our girl immediately panicked. He'd suss out her transmigration, muttered charlatan, and booked it out of there. Our girl was happily counting her stacks when she got an urgent summon from Ning Palace. The Empress Dowager waltzed in looking anything but friendly. Our queen had to kneel for a whole hour, but don't worry, she wasn't idle. She was mentally compiling her next list of palace junk to sell. Her eyes darted, catching the Buddhist scriptures the Empress Dowager was supposedly reading. Our girl thought, this one's clearly not about that peaceful life. Her eyes are all over the place. The Empress Dowager screeched, so it's you. You little wench who doesn't know her place, daring to seduce the emperor. Our girl tried to explain to the Empress Dowager, I'm literally just doing my job for the emperor, your majesty. The Empress Dowager fumed, oh, so selling off the harem's junk was also the emperor's brilliant idea, was it? Okay, so throwing your boss under the bus isn't exactly peak integrity, but our girl was not about to take the fall for him. The Empress Dowager could beat her to death, but she wouldn't dare lay a finger on her precious emperor. So our girl spilled the tea. Empress Dowager, your wisdom is unmatched. It was totally the emperor's idea. The Empress Dowager screamed, guards, where are you? Beat this conniving little... They slammed me to the ground, and those wooden sticks went straight for my assets. And let me tell you, it hurt. Our Empress Dowager was like, honey, you've got 2 strikes, breaking palace rules and seducing my son, the emperor. I swear this old lady's vision is stuck in the Stone Age. Being an emperor's wife? Nah, give me modern society's one-man, one-wife life any day. But like for real, I didn't even try to seduce him. But Her Majesty wasn't buying it. She was probably thinking, my son is a dashing emperor. What girl wouldn't throw herself at him, unless she's totally blind? I couldn't even with this Empress Dowager, so I just gave an internally exasperated shrug. Fine, consider me legally blind, your majesty. For some reason, this just made Her Majesty even more furious. She spat, my son ignores his entire harem because of you, and you're still acting so clueless? Then she barked, beat her to death. Excuse me, what? So looking at the emperor is wrong, but not looking at him is even worse? Make it make sense. Does her son's love filter really need to be this thick for her? Just as I was about to black out, a blur of imperial yellow flashed into view. When I finally came to, I was back in NG Palace. According to my girl, the female supervisor, it was a full-blown, blood-soaked, alpha energy-filled scene. Our simp ML, How Gay, came to visit, and I immediately latched onto his sleeve and burst into tears. I took like 12 strokes. My own parents never hit me that hard. This should totally count as a workplace injury, hello? And I deserve some paid time off for my trauma. Thank you very much. How Gay looked like he was gonna cry law, but he still replied. He was like, alright, approved. I wasn't actually crippled, but I was definitely living the crippled life. So I just summoned all the prettiest palace maids to spoon-feed me my meds. I once overheard How Jay grumbling, as long as she doesn't bother the palace guards, just let her have her way, what else am I supposed to do? Plus, those young guards constantly loitering around me every day, that's the real harassment, thank you very much. Seriously, living in this ancient era just made me miss my 21st century life, where everyone was equal, and my unfinished work, it was haunting me. Right before I got isekai'd, my boss had literally just assigned me to finish a killer presentation for a major client report. Without that presentation, our company's whole bidding project would be a total bust. That's like a 10 billion VND loss. And worse, how am I even supposed to go home? On Mid-Autumn Festival night, How Gay got all his ministers drunk at a banquet, then dragged me up onto the palace roof to moongaze. Let me tell you, the ancient moon was huge, so close and super bright. I told How Gay, I'm homesick, can we please find a way to go back? He's the emperor with all that big power, so I could only dump all my hopes onto him. How Gay stared at me for a long moment, then kinda hesitantly mumbled, okay. But after that night, How Gay never ever brought up the topic of going home again. I was left alone to worry my pretty little head off, wondering if he even remembered what I'd said. One day he was reading, and I was just there, grinding ink and sighing dramatically. Then it hit me. I'd already paid social insurance for 6 years, just 9 more years and I could have retired. What a waste. Oh, BT way, How Jay, you've been working way longer than me, right? How many years have you paid into Social Security? How Gay just stared at me with a blank face. 8 years, whoa, so aren't you even more bummed out than me? How Jay put down his official papers, his face suddenly serious for once. He asked, isn't this current life good for you? You have food brought to you, water poured for you, and I'm here protecting you. In this entire palace, not even the Empress Dowager dares to lay a finger on you. That last time How Jay totally warned off the Empress Dowager, which made her absolutely furious and call me a demoness who'd bring ruin to the nation, lol. Now, literally no one dares to touch me. Even the concubines are trying to be BFFs, but, like, do I look like I want to make friends when I don't even know how I'm gonna drop dead next? But like no friends, no phone, no TV, I'm legit so bored. I get it. How Gay is the emperor. He says he doesn't want the job, but deep down, he's totally thriving on all this power and status. The Empress Dowager, bless her heart, just couldn't stomach the emperor being claimed by a lowly maid like me. So, she supposedly invited some enlightened master into the palace. What a coincidence, it's our dear ox-nosed Taoist. Like, isn't it obvious she wants to use him to mess with me? I've already mapped this out. At worst, they'll call me a fox spirit or possessed by a demon. Basically something that'll shake the foundations of the entire damn country. The Empress Dowager teams up with the Imperial clan and demands the emperor execute me. Classic. Honestly, this plotline has been done to death in every single drama. And then our simp ML Hao J sends me a little note. What dim sum do you want to eat tomorrow? I smiled, knowing in my heart that he would absolutely protect me. It was supposed to be my chill pill, but plot twist, things did not go as planned. The Empress Dowager, using her poor health as an excuse, summoned the imperial preceptor. The imperial preceptor declares unclean things are causing her woes, and demands a palace search. They pretend to sweep the surrounding areas, then march straight to my chambers. When they burst in, me and Hao Jay were chilling, wearing homemade face masks, having a delightful afternoon tea. I was literally explaining to him, babe, this charcoal mask is for cleansing, then I'll put on a hydrating one for you. Is your osmanthus yogurt delicious, boo? I wanna try some, Hao Jay said, then I'll try your honey cakes, my love. We were happily sharing our snacks, wagging our feet, when a blood-curdling scream made me almost drop my spoon. Ghost! A ghost! I think they might have gotten the wrong idea. News in the palace spreads faster than wildfire. First, it was just her palace has ghosts in broad daylight. Then it escalated to she's secretly raising little demons. Excuse me, I'm not some celebrity trying to boost my career. Why would I need to raise little demons? And hello? Those were clearly just afternoon tea pastries. Hao Jay and I just looked at each other, barely containing our laughter, cracking up at their wild imaginations. Then, the Ox-Nosed Taoist himself showed up in broad daylight, ready to exorcise said demons. The Ox-Nosed Taoist looked at the Emperor and said some surprisingly familiar words. Your Majesty, this old Taoist has seen your visage once before. Truly, it is peculiar. What about the Emperor's appearance? The Empress Dowager pressed. The old Taoist murmured something about the Emperor's true identity, shaking his head, without revealing more. The Empress Dowager, ever so concerned for the Emperor's safety. Do I, the Empress Dowager, give you permission to speak? Just speak. Rest assured, I'll be your backing. The old Taoist hesitated, then finally opened his mouth. Your Majesty, you bear the physiognomy of a short-lived person. You should have died young. What nonsense are you spouting? The Empress Dowager was so shocked, she promptly fainted. When she finally woke up, the first thing she did was throw the Ox-Nosed Taoist into prison, cursing him for being a fake and a charlatan. Well, that worked out perfectly. We didn't even lift a finger, and the crisis resolved itself. Realizing this Ox-Nosed Taoist was actually pretty legit and spoke the truth, I secretly snuck off to the prison, but someone beat me to it. I quickly hid and peeked. In the dim, dark prison, the Ox-Nosed Taoist's hair had turned completely white overnight. He looked years older. This old Taoist cast a divination today. I knew a distinguished guest would visit. You have finally arrived, Your Majesty. Hao Gay stood tall, embodying the stern dignity of an emperor. You knew I would come, then can you divine why I am here? The old Taoist's eyes widened. Stroking his beard, he said, you wish to ask for the way home. Hold up. Didn't he say he didn't want to go back to the modern world? Why is he secretly asking this old Taoist behind my back? The audacity. Hao Gay crouched down, his voice holding a hint of dark cunning. You do indeed know the way back. Last night, this old Taoist expended half of my cultivation to deduce that both of you come from another world. There is a method to return there. It can be attempted. Our girl braced herself, ready for the old Taoist to spill the tea. But then, Hao Gay cut him off. No need to say more. If you want to live, you'll keep this secret locked away. Honestly, before this trip to the dungeon, I always thought Hao Jay was just another regular employee like me. I almost forgot our pretty boy is like an actual emperor. Our emperor just says kill and Fungo is gone. He just says lock her in the cold palace and Wan Qin is imprisoned. Proof that our ML is a ruler with utterly ruthless methods. Only when this sword of life and death was pressed to my neck did I suddenly feel a shiver down my spine. Knowing I wouldn't get the answer I wanted, I dipped from the dungeon. As soon as I got back to the palace, Hao Gay called me over. Look, he said, I had someone make you a birthday cake. It's your birthday today, you know. Maybe it's because he never uses the imperial gen in front of me that I keep forgetting he's, like, the actual emperor. What are you staring at me for? Hurry up and taste it. See if it's to your liking. He shoved 2 silver forks into my hand, and then himself sang happy birthday to me. Actually, Hao Jay is probably really lonely, huh? That's why he lowers himself to treat me so well, even going to such lengths to keep me here. So I hugged him, and our simp ML? He totally stiffened up, his ears turning bright red. What's wrong? I sighed. Thanks, I'm not leaving anymore. I sighed. Thanks, I'm not leaving anymore. Hao Gay became even more extra than before, seeking out all sorts of novelties from across the lands, recounting them to me like juicy gossip. He'd occasionally take me hunting, even organizing song and dance performances every 3 or 4 days. The concubines in the palace competed with each other, showcasing their talents. It was like 100 flowers blooming in full rivalry. The drama was so good, it even surpassed the Sisters Who Make Waves reality show. Even the Empress Dowager couldn't argue with our emperor, so she just let him do his thing. One lazy afternoon I casually blurted out, since I'm not going back anyway, why don't I just ask the Taoist how to return? No harm in knowing, right? Hao Gay, who was busy reviewing official documents, suddenly froze. He slowly looked up, staring intently at me, saying nothing. Oh no, not again. Every time I bring this up, that oppressive aura of a true superior oozes from his cold, cold eyes. I could only manage an awkward, forced smile. If you don't want to, then never mind, I quickly said. I was just rambling anyway. Hao Jay chuckled along. It's fine. You can ask if you want, he said. I maintained a nonchalant expression, but my heart was pounding like crazy. That night we stepped into the dungeon together. Taoist Maid Zhou just shook his head and said, don't even bother. Hao Ji spread his hands, giving me a helpless look. I pouted. Fine, forget it. I don't want to go back anyway. I don't know if Hao Gay sensed something, but he suddenly spoke in a mysterious tone. There's something I forgot to tell you. Over there, they've raised the retirement age. What? Hao Gay blinked innocently. When you fainted, I just happened to catch the news. Plus, the insurance contribution period has been extended to 20 years. Is that for real or just fake news? I suddenly remembered that on my way home from work, there was a trending hot topic on WO. But before I could even click on it, the thought hit me. Even if I went back, I'd just be a wage slave. By the time I'm old, my son will be picking up my grandkids from school and still have to drive me to work. Office gossip would turn into, someone was just in the office yesterday, and today all that's left is a black and white photo. Oh right, and it's not even guaranteed I'd have a job to go to. By the time I could get my pension, I might be jobless, sweeping streets. Just thinking about that scene made my teeth chatter. After that night, the old Taoist passed away. This time I truly gave up. I sighed. Have I just been completely gaslit? What's even the point of going back to the modern world? If I go back, I'll just work myself to death. Isn't it way better to just cling to the emperor's thigh in ancient times? Let go, I need to let go. From today onwards, I'm officially enjoying my ancient retirement life. Our girl tells Hao Jay, look, if you want me to stay, you gotta hook me up with a boyfriend. Hao Jay nearly chokes on his tea. What kind of guy are you even looking for? Our girl rubs her hands together. 6 perfect qualities is the standard, and he must be handsome. Hao Gi asks again, and his profession? He could be a cold-blooded assassin, or a top scholar good at both books and battles. A rich young master from a prominent family? Not bad. A devoted young general? Love it. Hao Jay, ever the realist deadpans. That's quite the buffet. Can you even eat all that? Our girl blushes a little. That's just for starters. Hao Jay is seriously efficient though. He hangs up 4 portraits of talented gentlemen, and our FL's eyes immediately lock onto the young general in the first one. He's in red robes, wielding a silver spear and riding a majestic horse. Our girl walks straight up to the painting, absolutely mesmerized. She asks, this guy's hot enough, right? She totally pretends not to be drooling. But inside she's doing a happy dance. Hao Jie introduces him. This is young Master Huo, 19 years old, just returned from the border. He adds, if you like him, I can totally set you 2 up. Our girl, already hyped, is like, what are you waiting for? Let's go, go, go. But Hao Gay then says, hold up, there's something I need to tell you first. He brought a girl back from the border, and just like that RFL's face goes stone cold, her voice flat. Next, she demands. Next up is the romantic top scholar, handsome as ever, with eyes like shimmering autumn lakes. Hao Jay says, this is last year's top scholar, 27 from a humble background. Our girl's eyes light up. Ooh, this one could work. Hao Jay ponders, but he has a super picky mom, and he's a total mama's boy, so he's still single. Our girl grits her teeth. Ugh, mother-in-law drama, hard pass. No mama's boys for her. Next up, a powerful young master from a prominent family dressed in pristine white, a literal cold flower untouched by the world. Our girl asks directly, okay, so what's wrong with this one? Hao Ji just smiles. Well, he has a favorite personal maid in his inner courtyard, who's basically his soulmate. You know how it is in ancient times, wives are for family power, and 3 wives, 4 concubines? Totally normal. Can you deal with your hubby having other beloved side chicks? Our girl takes a deep, shaky breath, not even bothering to look back as she turns to the final portrait. The man in black, one hand on his sword, with a gaze so sharp it could cut. Okay, but he's ridiculously handsome, like heart-stopping levels. She nervously asks Hao Jie. And this one? Hao Gay frowns. This guy? The Jianghu calls him Gui Ying, 25 years old, practically invincible, but I highly advise you don't even think about him. I don't want you to end up a widow. Based on unofficial reports, at least 10 people are currently trying to kill him. Our girl nods decisively. He's acceptable. Acceptable? In what universe? Aside from the whole being a walking target thing, he's peak perfection. Hao Gay, seeing he couldn't talk sense into her, just goes full sarcasm. I think you're truly desperate for a man. Oh, really? Like you can't live without a man or something. Being roasted by a dude like that? Of course our girl is fuming. This queen is this old and has never even dated, she snaps back. Hao Gay is absolutely shook. You've never dated? He tries to stifle his laughter, failing spectacularly as our girl awkwardly explains. You know how it is. People like us are always so busy. It's either 996 or straight 7, no time for romance. Being a single, unmarried woman, totally normal these days. Before, I was too obedient. School said no early dating, then everyone started hounding me about marriage. I went on so many blind dates, and it was like everyone had a price tag attached. Totally boring. Not sure if she hit a nerve, but Hao Gay actually nods along with her. So you're saying, your experience and mine are pretty similar, he says. Studied hard, worked even harder, never thought about dating, had no time for it, and blind dates? Nope, no interest. Our girl interrupts him. Wait. Our pretty boy Lin Hao flinched and scoffed. Me? No way. I simply refuse to believe it. Seriously though, our ML warned me. Dead serious, please. Don't you dare use such words to insult me. Hold up, how is that an insult now, bestie? Lin Hao abruptly changed the subject, spilling. So, I was supposed to go on a blind date after work. And get this, the person I'm meeting is apparently my elementary school classmate. Talk about a crazy coincidence, right? Your girl was absolutely frozen solid. Spill the tea. What's her name? Lin Hao thought for a moment, then dropped the name, Shang Lingling. She even wrote me a love letter when we were kids. I'm just going for formality, TBH. My brain was buffering and I just blurted out, wait, your name, it's not Lin Hao, is it? Lin Hao shot up from his seat, like, hold on, seriously? OMG, it's actually our simp ML. On my way home from work, your girl literally died on the way to that blind date. Talk about a cosmic coincidence. That blind date? It was my elementary school classmate, the one I'd been secretly simping for years. I legit never thought Lin Hao would remember me writing him a love letter. What even? Back then he was all red lips and pearly whites, looking like pure diabetes-inducing fluff walking around. So aloof, so cold. A total brainiac who was obsessively neat. He looked all refined and polite, but secretly, even as a little dude he was already a taekwondo black belt. Talk about hidden gems. Compared to all the other boys who just talked about games 24/7, our ML was in a league of his own. Later, he skipped grades, and then the rumors swirled that he joined a top-tier company, becoming the ultimate white moonlight dream boy for countless girls. And just thinking about it now, your girl is spiraling into regret again. In my wild, impulsive youth, I wrote him a love letter, only to get a whole lecture about studying harder. The humiliation, I swear! Meanwhile, in the imperial palace, some major tea was brewing. Their esteemed emperor kept showing up at my door, day after day, begging me to open up. Oh, your girl was royally pissed. And when I'm pissed, honey, the consequences are dire. Just for formality, he says? I bought new clothes and did my whole face for that blind date. While he just planned to go through the motions. The audacity. Lin Hao explained from outside the door. I never wanted to go on those blind dates, but my family kept pressuring me. So yeah, I always just went for formality every single time. He tried to smooth it over. I didn't know Shang Lingling was you, and that you were Shang Lingling. Ignorance is bliss, right? But deep inside, your girl was still simmering with a tiny bit of rage. Your girl yelled back through the door. So now that you know who I am, you won't just go for formality, right? Lin Hao, the audacity. He actually said even if I knew, I'd still have to go for formality. You absolute male trash. Your girl was so triggered, I literally didn't want to talk anymore. Lin Hao, ever the smooth talker, continued. Back then, we didn't really know each other, but now, it's totally different. We've literally survived together in this ancient world. You know what I'm like, and I know what you're like. Basically, things are different now. Okay? No joke. This man was a master at pretending in his modern life. In my eyes, Lin Hao was always this super arrogant male god, but honestly, no matter how you slice it, we've fallen in love. You could even call it a workplace romance. Ha ha ha. Our ML, Lin Hao, was in the study, chatting with the imperial censor. I finished organizing the memorial and presented it to our ML. He opened it up, and couldn't help but snicker. The imperial censor stopped mid-sentence. Your Majesty, is this old subject perhaps saying something incorrect? Lin Hao shot me a quick glance, his face saying, My esteemed minister, please do continue. Your emperor is all ears, my good sir. The memorial literally described him speaking slower than a snail, and your girl was already dozing off. Lin Hao pretended to approve 2 lines in the memorial, then slickly handed it back to your girl. I respectfully took it, brought it back to my room, and curiosity getting the best of me, opened it to read. It simply read, Good girl, go take a nap for a bit. OMG, my boss just actively gave me a day off. Your girl immediately flopped down, no questions asked. Summer rolled around, and we decided to hit up the summer palace to escape this scorching heat. According to my past life memories, the emperor usually brought his most favored concubine along for the ride. But Lin Hao only brought me, his female official. Everyone in the palace was so used to it, no one even batted an eye. We chilled with the cool breeze, munched on watermelon, and had our servants catch crabs in the stream. Then in the evening we totally binged on a bowl of refreshing mung bean soup. Your girl let out a contented sigh. I finally understood why some emperors just wanted to chill and enjoy life. Then our ML, the simp, also let out a sigh. It seems with you around, I don't even want to worry about court affairs anymore. Your girl, bless her heart, blurted out without thinking.
Of course.
Spring nights are short, the sun rises high, and from then on, the king no longer. As soon as those words left my mouth, I instantly knew I'd messed up. Lin Hao laughs heartily, turning to look at our girl. Our queen's like, okay, time to test the waters. Her eyes light up. Without missing a beat, she declares, Your Majesty, no takebacks. I want to feel those rock-hard abs. Lin Hao is absolutely flabbergasted. This is not how imperial interactions usually go. After some intense pleading from our girl, he finally gives in and tells the servants to turn their backs. Our queen unleashes her demon hand, feeling those warm sculpted abs right through his robes. Meanwhile, Lin Hao is too shy to even look at her. But our girl's like, give an inch, take a mile, and slips her hand under his clothes. Turns out, six-pack abs are even more irresistible when you can actually touch them. Lin Hao just shuts his eyes tight, gritting his teeth. He looks absolutely tormented, but also kinda into it. Who knew the all-powerful emperor could be such a blushy tease? He practically squeezes the words through his teeth. Are you done yet? Our queen reluctantly pulls her hand back, but not before planting a juicy kiss right on his stomach. And that, my friends, is why Lin Hao started doing sit-ups every single night for the foreseeable future. Just as things were getting peachy, bam, a wild assassin appears. Assassins are usually nocturnal, but this one is feeling extra bold, trying to pull off a daytime assassination? Plot twist. It's the same ghost shadow our queen had encountered before. He's just barging into the imperial palace like he owns the place. Servants are screaming, protect his majesty, and everyone is convinced this dude is here for the emperor's head. Our simp ML pushes our queen away, ordering guards to escort her back. But before anyone can react, Ghost Shadow's sword goes right through her chest. For a split second, our queen's like, okay, definitely revoking all my compliments for this dude. Ghost Shadow doesn't stick around for a fight, just pulls out his sword and poof, gone. Our girl collapses straight into Lin Hao's arms. The searing pain gives way to a hazy darkness. She tries to look down at the wound on her chest, but all she sees are Lin Hao's hands, absolutely drenched in her blood, gushing non-stop. And only then does it hit her. Wait, he's not just some modern guy. He's also an emperor with absolute power. Don't you dare say a word, he demands. I won't let you die. Get the imperial physician now. Imperial physicians? Useless. Her body feels like a deflated balloon with a massive hole. She can't even speak, just tiredly stares at him. Our simp ML has never looked this panicked before. They both know, ancient medicine can't fix a wound this bad. Your girl is a goner. Lin Hao finally calms down and says, each word weighted, I will take you home. Wait, what? Turns out he already knew the way back home, all thanks to some ancient Taoist priest.
Okay, true.
Our pretty boy might act all spontaneous, but he's got layers. Even if he didn't want to go back to the modern world, he wouldn't let this secret die with someone else. Lin Hao summons a whole squad of Taoist priests to set up some kind of magical formation around our queen. Her consciousness starts to fade. She's not gonna make it. A soft kiss lands on her forehead. Lin Hao's eyes are filled with pure anguish. I'm sorry, I can't go with you, he whispers. Just sleep well, you'll be okay, I promise. A massive wave of energy washes over her, sweeping away her consciousness. She closes her eyes. When she opens her eyes again, it's blinding lights, a hazy consciousness, and voices talking nearby. Shang Lingling is awake. Quickly, notify her family. She wakes up in a hospital. Her parents passed away ages ago, so who's here? Her boss. Her boss is a woman, who personally made her some chicken soup. You really have 9 lives, kid. A massive steel bar went right through your chest. You almost kicked the bucket. Seriously, drive more carefully next time. Actually, don't drive at all anymore. Instantly, the memories of her job come flooding back. Oh right, Sister Yan, the bidding presentation is on my computer. I finished it. Can you find someone else to present it?
Oh right, there's also...
But Sister Yan cuts her off. It's fine, the bid is over, and we won. Just rest and recover, don't worry about work. Shang Lingling, the company can totally function without you. So relax, okay? Alright, fine. But inside, our girl feels a little empty. Wait, when I finally had a free moment, my brain decided to rewind to Lin Hao's last words. Sorry, he'd said, I don't want to come back just for you. But honestly, I'd already figured it out. The me he actually liked was the one from the ancient world. If we'd met on a normal blind date, he wouldn't have even bothered to get to know me. In other words, our simp ML liked me mostly, because in that ancient world we were the only 2 modern people. It basically created an infinitely close connection in his heart, right? Plus this man spent years in the modern world and never liked a single soul. If I hadn't transmigrated as his fellow modern person, he probably would have lived his whole life without ever catching feelings. Bro was doomed. So technically, it could have been anyone transmigrated there and he would have liked them? Ouch. Girl, don't think I'm down that bad. When I actually come back to Earth, even I get spooked by my own thoughts. Like, duh, that's why I've been single for ages. After I finally healed up, I immediately requested more time off. Lin Hao was seriously heartless though. He never even thought about his parents. So, I headed back to my old hometown, right to our elementary school. Our old homeroom teacher recognized me immediately, practically dragging me into a chat. Oh hey, do you remember Lin Hao from our class? She asked. I gave an awkward smile. Yeah, I do, I replied. The teacher sighed, heavy-hearted. So young, she said, and he just suddenly passed away. I froze. Wait, did she just say what I think she said? I asked again, totally bewildered. Passed away, suddenly? Her voice was firm, no doubt about it. Yeah, sudden death, his family said, was from pulling all-nighters and working too much overtime. I was shook. Wait, didn't he say he just fainted? How did fainting turn into sudden death? The teacher kept going. His family kept setting him up on blind dates, but he always just showed up to check a box. Seriously, a total workaholic. Love? Nah, he had no time for that. She just hoped some girl could capture his heart, so he'd actually, live a little. Ugh. These youngsters today, how is work more important than your own health? Oh, and get this. He'd been in a coma in the ICU. Turns out he'd been brain dead for ages, but his family just couldn't let go. Last night, after the doctors finally talked some sense into them, his family finally agreed to let him go. If you go now, you can still make it to the funeral. So this was Lin Hao's real reason all along. He wasn't unwilling to give up his emperor title to come with me. His body was literally brain dead. OMG. I stumbled out of that elementary school, only to head straight to a funeral. My life is a dark comedy. Then, the Taoist priest who was doing the funeral rituals actually chased after me, calling me back. He said, this humble Taoist finds your appearance quite unique, miss. Have we met somewhere before? I took a closer look at the Taoist's face. Oh my god, I know him. It's Liu PZ. When the demoness died, the Empress Dowager was over the moon. But then her joy faded real quick. She thought the emperor would mourn for a bit, then turn his attention to the harem girls. Nope, our simp ML went full psycho, hunting down and erasing every trace of the ghost. He found out some concubine was the mastermind behind my death, and he straight up executed her entire family. Yandere flags, anyone? So in the end the harem was empty, like totally empty. But plot twist. More than a year ago, our ML Huang Ni basically went through a glow-up transformation. Back then, your girl wasn't the Empress Dowager yet, and was locked up in Amni Monastery, forced to shave her head and cultivate. And the Empress Dowager at that time? She was Huang Ni's adoptive mom. Old Huang Ni? He was a total bookworm, basically a puppet, with all the power in the hands of the former Empress Dowager and the eunuchs, so beta-coded. But then, Huang Ni suddenly stabilized the entire court, and that's when your girl finally got out of house arrest. Everyone outside was like, was he just pretending to be incompetent this whole time? Ever since Huang Ni took the throne, the country has been governed super orderly, and he's even a filial son, surprisingly. The only rebellious thing he did was not liking any of the concubines your girl picked out for his harem. Sometimes he'd just lean on the balcony, staring at the moon. Engulfed by endless loneliness, no one could truly enter his world. He didn't want to admit he kinda missed the days when that demonic woman was around. At least then, Huang Ni wouldn't be all alone every single day. If he'd known that demonic woman had this much skill, maybe he should have just let her win from the start. While he was deep in thought, a huge crash suddenly echoed from the sky. Was the Earth Dragon rolling over in its sleep? Supported by his palace maids, he rushed out in a panic, only to hear a servant report, "Your Majesty, something just fell from the sky." He worriedly asked, "Where did it fall?" It looks like right into His Majesty's sleeping chambers, Your Majesty. And speaking of falling, your girl had just plummeted from the sky, my breath taken away as I sank into warm water. Clearly, I'd landed in a hot spring. Gotta say, every time I transmigrate, water's always involved. It took all my strength just to lift my head. And right in front of me, less than half a meter away, was a man's sculpted waist. His wet, firm abs, absolutely chef's kiss. No, I'm here to find Lam Hao. I repeat, cannot fall for random male beauty right now. I quickly lowered my head, the red petals floating on the water a little distracting. But seriously, dude, someone just fell from the sky, and you're still this unbothered? Is this the legendary Mount Tai collapsing in front of you? Yet your expression doesn't change level of chill?
Xiang Ling Ling.
A familiar voice echoed right above my head. I snapped my head up and there he was. Lam Hao's face, hazy in the steamy air. He slightly narrowed his eyes and his deep gaze held a storm that looked like it wanted to swallow people whole. Yandere flags raising. Ladies? The next second, his hand gripped my wrist so tightly, a scorching heat emanating from his touch, like he was terrified I'd vanish again. Oh, it was him all along, my simp ML. One hand cupped my chin, and then a storm of a kiss descended, unhinged and passionate. I slowly wrapped my arms around his neck, clumsily kissing him back, And then I heard my pathetic little puppy whisper, I thought you weren't coming back. I later told our whole crazy story to an old Taoist priest. And that old Taoist priest? He dropped some serious wisdom. All feelings are built on shared experiences. It's because of these super unique experiences that feelings ignite. As long as those feelings are real, that's all that matters. So your girl finally decided to confront her own messy feelings. Night after night, I thought it over, and I just couldn't bear to leave my boy all alone. I pushed him back slightly and declared, your girl is tired of being an official. I came back, so you better give me a promotion and a fat raise. He gave me that doting smile. Oh really? My imperial harem just so happens to be missing an empress, and I'm offering a very competitive salary to the right candidate. I reluctantly nodded, but what if one day you decide to ditch me? He resolutely guaranteed a lifelong position with eternal benefits. Talk about a simp